So hello everyone, welcome to TANAJI IAS Academy. So prepare with us till selection. So guys, so the TANAJI IAS Academy is an academy which provides a very beautiful benefits to all of you. So what are the beautiful benefits? So we are just discussing in this video. So the beautiful benefits are TANAJI IAS Academy. If you are just getting a subscription like that, so you are just getting a live classes. So it means that kya कि we people are just teaching us you a live manner, not we are just providing you are just something a recorded manner. So or we are just providing a structured way of courses, like we are not providing something कुछ हमने इधर का दे दिया, कुछ हमने इधर का दे दिया, कभी कुछ और पढ़ा दिया. No, not at all. So we are just providing you a structured way of courses, and also every student have to analysis yourself. So that's why we are just providing the live test and quizzes also. You just have to attempt the live tests, live test and quizzes also. In live test and quizzes, all the previous year questions along with the expected questions are to be included. So मेरे प्यारे साथियों, we are just providing you unlimited access videos, right? मैनी स्टूडेंट्स आर थिंकिंग ओवर दैट कि सर अगर हमने एक बार अगर आपकी वीडियो देख ली, इसके बाद अगर हमें दोबारा रिवाइज करना हो, सो तानाजी आईएएस एकेडमी विल प्रोवाइड यू अनलिमिटेड एक्सेस. मीन्स you can just watch infinite number of times, you can just watch infinite number of times while paying you a one subscription. So this is the small demo video. I am just trying to teach you a small topic of the UPSC CSC prelims plus mains of the economics topic. So the topic will be discussed after some time. So basically this is the small introduction about me and myself. My name is Suchit Shukla, and hopefully you are just seeing in the picture also. So I already taught approximately 5 lakh learners, and there is a very strategic way of teaching. So I already have the more I already have 7+ years of experience. My subject is economics. I will teach economics for the prelims as well as mains level. So or I'll just provide you a detailed notes, I'll just provide you a detailed PDF, and no need to take any other something subjective notes to all. Okay, so I'll just provide you detailed notes and detailed PDF also, and I will also provide all the live tests and quizzes also. So you can just prepare yourself by TANAJI IAS Academy along with me. So guys, today we are just going to discuss about the main topic. The topic is poverty, a very common topic that we are just studying on the one day competitive exams. Hopefully we are just आप लोगों को ये जो टॉपिक है बहुत पहले आप लोगों ने देखा भी होगा, पढ़ा भी होगा. आज इस क्लास में एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन मैं आप लोगों को पॉवर्टी के बारे में समझाऊंगा. In the COVID-19 situations, we are just starting from the COVID-19 situations. Many peoples, what I'm just trying to say, many peoples are getting below the poverty line. It means that the person who is below above the poverty line, but during the COVID-19, that people are just becoming under the poverty line. How is it possible? Because it means that they get unemployed. Just trying to relate something, they get unemployed. If they get unemployed, so it means that their income will be decreasing. If the income is to be decreasing, so their basic needs will not be fulfilled by themselves. मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, I'll just using the basic needs. So what are the basic needs will be there? It means that हमने इन सारे पूरे कंसेप्ट से we are just trying to discuss only one thing, basic needs. It means that a person who do not fulfill their basic needs, that a person is said to be a poor person, right? So you are just eager to know what are the basic needs will be there. So what are the basic needs will be there? So I'm just trying to discuss. If you just see the pictures, so here two student, we can say that, or we can say that two peoples are to be two childs are there, right? If you are just seeing the two childs, so they don't have the shelter. It means that they don't have the shelters to stay, right? Because if you are just seeing the pictures, if anyone can see the pictures, so they can just precise the picture, and they just understand what the poverty exactly means, right? So the thing is, if we see the two children, they don't have the shelters, right? They don't have the shelters to basically they having the very bad conditions of the they having the very bad living conditions, along with they do not have the clothes, along with we are just saying that they are the lack of nutrients, right? So it means that some basic needs which is to be not fulfilled by the two childs. So what are the various types of basic needs, or we can say that what are the basic needs which are which if anyone, if which any one cannot fulfill the basic needs, so that person has to become under the poor. So we are just going to discuss under this video. So basically I'm just trying to discuss about the poor, we can say that poverty, right? So basically poverty is a situation. Just try to understand, poverty is a situation. Poverty is just nothing but what? Poverty is a situation. For what? A person, a person who do not, who do not again satisfy, who do not satisfy what? Their basic needs. I'm just trying to discuss you, who do not satisfy their basic needs. So what are the basic needs will be there? So हम लोग बोलते हैं अमिताभ बच्चन का फिल्म देख के, रोटी कपड़ा और मकान, वी कैन से दैट क्या? फूड शेल्टर, फूड शेल्टर एंड क्लोथ्स। जस्ट फूड रोटी है ना, फूड को हमने बोल दिया है ना, कपड़े को हमने क्लोथ्स बोल दिया, और शेल्टर, ठीक है। बट दिस इज द नॉट एंड ऑफ द स्टोरी, बिकॉज इन द modernizations two things are also there. The two things are also there. What are the two things will be there? So here is it, education. Just try to understand education. A person who is deprived from education, also a person who is deprived from the electricity also, so that person is also said to be as poverty, right? Or poor person. So there are the five elements. We are just trying to say there are basically five elements. There are five elements will be there, or which satisfy the poverty cases, right? The first one is food, shelter, clothes, education, and electricity. In various examination or UPSC examination, many times asked what is education is necessary, is education is come under the poverty basket. So answer is yes, right? Because many UPSC aspirants are just trying to know that food, shelter, clothes are the basic needs of the any person. But this is not in the end of the story. Food, shelter, clothes, along with education and electricity, there are five elements which is to be included in the basic needs. अब आगे की बात अगर हम करें, so a person who is deprived from all the five elements. I'm again saying a person who is deprived. Do you mean by deprived? Deprived मतलब हिंदी में बोलते हैं हम उसको वंचित. मेरी बात आ रही है समझ में? A person who is basically deprived from all this thing, right? If a person is not getting food, or not getting shelter properly, or not getting electricity properly, or having not in education, so a person who is deprived along with any of them, so a person is said to be as poor. Hopefully the meaning of poverty or the meaning of poor is to be understood by all of you. Then we are just going forward. So basically there are two types of poverty will be there. There are poverty can be further classified into two categories. It is inability to fulfill the minimum requirements of life. It means that there is some minimum requirements of every person's life, right? But if we are just not willing, if we are just not able to fulfill the minimum requirements of life, so this will be the situation of the poverty. But मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, this will be not at the end of the story. Poverty can be further classified into two categories. First one, you can just see the screen, that is relative poverty. First one is relative poverty, and second one is what? Absolute poverty. So what about the relative poverty and what about the absolute poverty? So relative poverty here, it refers to poverty in relation to different class, region, or country. So I'm just taking an example. If I'm just taking an example, I'm the just I already earn more than 1 lakh per month, right? So I'm just taking an example. I'm a poor person. Then you just say, sir, how can you say that you are a poor person? You are earning more than 1 lakh 1 lakh per month or 12 lakh per year. So how you can say that you are just you do not fulfill your basic needs? I agreed with your statement. But I am the relative poor with the Mr. Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani and me, if I'm just comparing with me and with Mukesh Ambani, so I'm a poor person as comparison with any particular Mr. Ambani. It means that if I'm just comparing with me with any particular class or any particular regions or any particular country, so on that manner, if I'm just taking something classes, region or countries, on that manner, if we are just comparing the we and themselves, so that a situation, that a scenario is called kya, relative poverty. Hopefully you people are just got my point, right? If something, if we are just running, we are just living in a society, and whenever we watch in the society, I'm just हम बोलते हैं ना कि यार मेरे बगल वाले घर के पास तो बहुत लंबी सी कार है, बट हमारे पास तो बाइक है. We also satisfy our the basic needs, they also satisfy the basic needs. We both are not poor, but in the case of relative poverty, we are just comparing with themselves. And while comparing with themselves, I am just saying वो तो बहुत अमीर आदमी है हमारे comparison में. It means that a situation is to be set as relative poverty. So whenever we are just comparing the poverty with the classes, region or countries, so this will be termed as relative poverty. So further, we are just trying to discuss about the next point. The point is absolute poverty. So what is absolute poverty? So absolute poverty is just nothing but what? Absolute poverty is just a basic thing. A person who is absolutely poor. Absolutely poor मतलब क्या, वो बिल्कुल ही गरीब है. They do not satisfy their minimum requirements of life or basic needs. It means that a person, a concept of poverty line is used as a measure of absolute poverty. It means that what? A person who is basically poor or who is basically lie under the below poverty line. I'm just trying to discuss about the poverty line after the some time. So basically, absolute poverty, a person who do not satisfy their basic needs, that is called absolute poverty. But in the case of relative poverty are those poverty which are to be comparison with any class, region or country. So we are just trying to discuss about the next concept. So if you are just seeing this image, so here are the 4 children are to be sitting, 5 children are to be sitting here. They only have the one bowl, right? And they all are trying to eat from the one bowl also. So it means that they have they deprive from the food. Getting my point or not? They are deprived from the food. They are deprived from the getting food. They don't have the accessibility. Yeah, they don't have the proper food amount of. They don't have the proper availability of the food. So that means that the people are just deprived from the food, and they children are to be said as under the situation of poverty. So these all are the basic concept which is to be including along with the images, that is called kya, poverty, or we can say that kya, this is the very best example for the absolute poverty. This image is the very best example for the absolute poverty. So what is poverty line? So today we are just trying to discuss about the poverty line. So what is poverty line? So my dear student, so poverty line is just basically not a very big deal. It is basically a line. If any person, any person who is above the line, that is called above poverty line. And if any person who is lie below the poverty line, so that is called kya, below poverty line. For example, government of India set any particular line, that line, right? And according to this line, a person who is earning approximately 1200 rupees per month, I'm just trying to say a person who is earning 1200 rupees per month, so that person is not to be said as poor. That person is not to be said as poor. Got my point or not? Up Ram is a person who is basically earn 900 rupees per month. Okay, so that person is basically lie below the poverty line, because poverty line is said to be as 1200 rupees per month. Got my point or not? So accordingly, Ram is said to be a poor person, or we can say that kya, Ram is to be lying is BPL. Ram is to be said as below poverty line. Okay, so accordingly we can say that, mere pyare dosto, we are just comparing with the poverty line. If any person is lying below the poverty line, okay, so that a person is said to be as below poverty line. If any person, we can say that Mohan Mohan is earning approximately 2000 rupees per month. So here Mohan is not a poor person. Mohan is not a poor person because government is already said a person is said to be as poor who having the income approximately 1200 rupees per month. But Mohan is already earning 2000 rupees per month. So accordingly, Mohan is lying above poverty line. So this is the basic concept of poverty line. Hope you people are just got my point and understood all the concept whatever I just teach. So here the poverty line is the estimated minimum level of income. It is a minimum level of income which is to be needed or to secure the basic necessities of life. So for the fulfill of the minimum requirements of life, for the basically to secure the minimum needs of the life, government will decide a basic minimum income, and that minimum income is to be said as poverty line, or it is a poverty border for that, right? Hopefully this will be the best example, and all of you are just understand of what I just want to teach. So poverty line is fixed in India. The next slide is what poverty line is fixed in India. So in this 3 point, in the estimation of consumption cutoff, in private consumption expenditure, frequencies are recorded against each class interval. Each frequencies count the number of heads belonging to a particular consumption class. It means that we already have the different class groups in our society. We already have the different class group in our society. So if I'm just trying to discuss how many different class will be there, there are three. First one, rich, middle and poor. Rich, middle and poor. So a person lying in the richer section of the society having the different types of consumption. Got my point? A person who is lying under the middle section of the society having the different type of consumption. But a person is lying under the a low level person, right? They have the different consumption. So according to the poverty, the different class having the different classes of the consumption. What are the different types of consumption, how they are just getting consumed, and what are the various types of basic needs that they people are just trying to satisfy, we are just trying to discuss after that. Okay, so categorize poverty, we are just categorize poverty into a three category. Just try to understand, we are just classify the situation of poverty into the three category. The first category is shown that chronic poor. Chronic poor, so a person who is said to be as chronic poor. Can anyone tell me, can anyone tell me what is chronic poor? Okay, it means that who are always poor and those who are usually poor, that is landless worker. Those who are always poor or those who are usually poor. It means that क्या, ऐसा कोई बंदा जो या तो हमेशा ही गरीब रहता है, या तो कह सकते हैं क्या कि थोड़ा कभी एक साल में या महीने में एक दो तीन बार जॉब मिल गई, नहीं तो गरीबी ही है. So that type of thing which is to be discussed under the chronic poor. So hopefully आप सभी को समझ में आ गया होगा कि what is the meaning of chronic poor. So chronic poor means those who are always poor. Always poor. They don't have the capacity or they don't have the basic income to fulfill their minimum needs. They don't have the particular job, they don't have the particular stability of income, because of they are just lying under the chronic poor. Hopefully that's something are to be got my point. If I'm just trying to discuss about the category second, so that the category second will be transient poor. So what is transient poor? Transient poor is just nothing but what, a person, those who are moving in out of poverty or occasionally poor. For example, if I'm just trying to discuss about the transient poor, so you know Diwali scam, Dussehra scam. So when the Diwali scam, so many small workers like who are just making something like crackers and all, so they sell more and more, right? They sold more and more in the market and they are get rich, but during the Diwali only. But after Diwali, no one can crack the crackers, right? So after Diwali, they are just going down or they are just getting poor. So accordingly, that people are said to be as transient poor. In the times of Holi, in the duration of the Holi, many small workers are just making colors or different colors, but after Holi they are just getting poor, but in the duration of Holi they become something middle or rich. So accordingly, according to the season wise, if any persons are to be like below poverty line or above poverty line according to the occasionally, or we can see that seasonally. So that a person is said to be is what, transient poor. Hopefully you just got my point, what I'm just trying to say. Next point is never poor. A person who is never poor, for example me, or we cannot including I'm not including me and all. So a person who is never poor means that these are categories of non-poor people. It means that they just satisfy their basic needs, minimum requirements of life, as simple as that. A person who is easily satisfy their basic needs or minimum requirements of life, that a person is said to be is never poor. So what is rural poor, and what are the various types of key terms, and what are the basic poverty estimation in India, we are just trying to discuss in the next another video. So mere pyare dosto, this is the very small video. There is a small video about the poverty concept, which is to be provided by the Tanaji IAS Academy and me myself, Suchit Sukla. So we are just trying to discuss poverty estimation in India in the next video lecture. So hopefully kindly just like and supports and just get together, and we are just meeting in the next video and trying to discuss more and more topic related to the poverty. I'm Suchit Sukla. I'm just preparing you all from the prelims and the mains examination. Okay, so just watch, like, share and subscribe, and just try to meet in the next class. Thank you so much guys for continuously watching me. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. See you. Take care.